Well, NHP was established in 1995 as a medical aid plan to help cover medical costs.
It's 32 minutes past 5 o'clock, and it's time now for us to head right into the business of the heart. Today, if you've ever wondered what the Namibia Health Plan offers, well, their services, benefits, and even the different roles or positions employees have at the organization will be answered today. We're looking further as we are joined by Ndemugwedha. I practiced that all day, but the acting retention team leader at NHP to tell us more. Anna, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm very well, feeling very healthy, ma'am, by the way. And how are you? Are you well?
I'm very well. I'm healthy.
Yes,
We're in the business of being healthy.
That's the most important bit, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
NHP, the Namibia Health Plan.
Yes.
Tell us about your role and what it is you do there.
So I am a liaison officer as well as the acting team leader for retention. We are basically responsible for a huge bulk of some of the industry players in Namibia that are, of course, registered under NHP as pay points. So we're responsible for basically keeping the business that is brought on by business development per se. Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about NHP itself, though. What is the backdrop? What's happening? Why is it so powerful as it stands today as a health plan?
It is powerful, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, NHP was established in 1995 as a medical aid plan to help cover medical costs. And since then, we've gone on to become Namibia's largest privately owned medical aid fund. Yes, and I think mostly because we pride ourselves in the following 4 pillars. We are excellence in service delivery, we are benefit richness, and of course just the member-centric based preventative care and of course managed care programs that we have. And in addition to that, we have continuous implementation of innovations that see us, of course, rapidly growing all I can say is the sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What does NHP have to offer? What does NHP have to offer to a young 37-year-old young Namibian woman, you know, who's really keeping healthy, but also at the same time aware that it's not going to last very long? Tell us about what is on the table.
I mean, if you play your cards right, it might just last very, very long.
Yeah, I've got the greens. The greens are coming in.
Well, in addition to your greens, you might want to make sure that you have the proper medical aid cover that you may require, because in this day and age, you never know what happens. I mean, just a few years back, we had COVID, and I mean, back then, I'm sure people realized the need for medical aid cover. I mean, everybody was worried about what's going to happen tomorrow, and medical aid cover was the answer, unfortunately.
Or fortunately.
Yeah, yes. Fortunately, yes. And of course, we at NHP, we offer 8 benefit options, okay? And these benefit options are subdivided into 3 specific categories. The first category being the traditional benefit options, which are your gold, platinum, and of course titanium. Now, this category of benefits are aimed to our members or potential members that are listening right now who require comprehensive medical aid cover. So we're talking about people who have a chronic disease that may require constant going to the doctor, specialized medication every single month or so. So that is the traditional options for you. And then we move on to the second leg, which is of course the new generation options, which is your silver and of course the bronze benefit. Now, these bronze benefits are for your up and coming, young, as you said, eating your greens. You're not yet worried about your health. You don't know of any genetic dispositions that you may have that would require you to perhaps take on a comprehensive cover, but you want that peace of mind that you know, should anything happen, you're moderately covered in that instance, of course. Yeah, so in addition to that, we have what is called the Hospital Plus plan. And this is geared towards primarily on hospitalization. This cover only kicks in when you're hospitalized. So for young people out there that would say, you know what, Anna, but I never get sick and I'm never hospitalized, you know, but there's always that if. So in the event that that if does happen, you want to get yourself, for example, the Hospital Plus plan, which only kicks in when you are admitted, and of course you are then responsible for your other day-to-day cover. And the last one is our primary care options, which are your Blue Diamond and Letunga, which are basically just for primary health cover, and they have a designated list of service providers that are contracted specifically just to sort of just fill this gap in the market for that. So in addition to all this, we don't only offer you benefits. There are some built-in benefits that you as NHP member gets to enjoy, and one of those benefits is your international travel benefit, of course, offered to you for 90 days when you travel outside of Namibia, whether it's as close as South Africa or as far as the United States. So you're covered for 90 days for, you know, of course. And your premium waivers, we pride ourselves in growing with our members and being there for our members every step of the way. So in the event that you're no longer with us, you have passed on, we have what is called the premium waiver, and your remaining, you as a principal member, your remaining beneficiaries have at least 3 months to figure out, okay, fine, our breadwinner is no longer here, what do we do then? So that's when the premium waiver then kicks in automatically. Of course, you have to apply for it, but it kicks in automatically to give you that peace of mind for the next 3 months that you don't have to think about medical aid cover. And there's an array of many other benefits that NHP has to offer, and I would urge our listeners to just take the time and just read up, whether it's on our website or with any campaigns that we may have coming up. Take the time and just read and really find out, because these are important things that with the times that we are going into, medical aid cover is not one of those things you can skimp on.
Speaking of campaigns, we've been seeing lately the Be Smart campaign, stretching your benefits campaign that we are currently seeing. Tell us a bit more about that in detail.
Thank you for that. I think everybody who pays attention to the news has seen, reports about how the medical aid industry as a whole, not just NHP, has taken a huge knock in the past 3 years. We've seen the medical aid industries with regards to just claims in general, those have just skyrocketed. And of course, because we've been experiencing these exceptionally high claims, resulting in just the industry as a whole's reserve funds actually decreasing significantly. You know, on the one hand, you have claims coming from our existing members that now, of course, started understanding their option, and this is post-COVID, of course, they've started understanding their options, and they're now, oh no, this I can do that, I can do this, without thinking about overutilization, of course. And then on the other hand, of course, which is a good thing, but like most of anything, too much of anything can sometimes end up being a double-edged word.
Right.
Yeah, double-edged sword. So on the other hand, we have the rapid emergence of new medicines and medical technologies, which tend to have a typically much higher cost than any other industry in the country, and that is the one thing that has been such a huge contributor to the exceptionally high claims in the medical aid industry. The solvency level of the fund is bordering on industry requirement, which is a level of 25%. This is posing a real threat to the long-term sustainability of the industry as a whole. And the fund, we all came together and put our heads together, and we decided, what can we do about it? You have to use your medical aid. That is what you pay for. That's what you pay for it. But there are means where, of course, there are measures that you can take to reduce the high influx of claims that are coming through. And this campaign specifically wants to help our members understand that they can be smart They can stretch their benefits, and also just educating them on the influence that they have as consumers on the industry as a whole. With this campaign, we aim to educate our members on their claims and, of course, the ramifications of just overutilization of your medical aid. We wish members to also understand and be informed about their ability to have a say in treatments. I mean, gone are the days where you sit in a doctor's office and he tells you, you know what, Che, you have a headache, but it seems to be a tumor. So what we're gonna do now is you're gonna have to go through an MRI scan. And yes, be that as it may be, because these are doctors, these are knowledgeable, they have been trained to do these things. Unfortunately, you as a member also has a say to say, you know what, can we just take a step back? There are a few other options that we can look into before we go to the extreme steps that we can, take. And that's what we want our members to understand, that you do have a say. You can say something to your service provider without you threatening their authority, because we understand they are doctors, but you as a member also has a say.
That's right. What will be the main key points that NHP would like to convey via the NHP Be Smart, Stretch Your Benefits campaign? Like, what is the things that people really need to take into consideration on this campaign?
With this campaign, if you don't take anything at all from this campaign, I want you to understand the following points. Get the right benefit option for your medical needs. We have so many people that are either underinsured, which is a very bad thing because you constantly have to take extra out of your own pocket. And with the right benefit option at your fingertips, you can do so much. And you can live a long and healthy life without having to worry about tomorrow. But if I get hospitalized tomorrow, will I have the benefits? Will I have the funds to take care of those bills? We want you to check the claims that are coming through. I mean, NHP was one of the only medical aids in Namibia that had what we call real-time claims. So as soon as you get to the doctor's office, you get a text that comes through that says, oh, you had this so-and-so doctor.
This pharmacy, yes.
Of course, and we even used to joke about it. The office would say, NHP is like your boyfriend who always texts you. Your boyfriend may not text you, but we'll definitely make sure we've been in contact with you. So make sure you pay attention to the communications that we send out. Is it really what happened? Did you go to the service provider? Okay, and always ask questions. You as a patient are entitled to ask questions and ensure that you seek a second opinion if it's necessary. And to use your options carefully. Don't be an abuse. Don't be an overuser. I mean, too much of anything. Pharmacists are well trained and they are highly trained. Most of them are trained in your primary health care. So when you have the flu or you have the simple sinus infection, you don't necessarily have to go to the doctor because then it's double. Now you've got the doctor consultation fee, and now you need to go to the pharmacy to get your medication. Instead of just going to one professional who is a one-stop
shop
for all kind of for all your needs. So the pharmacist will be able to tell you, you know what, Che, you have a sinus infection, so why don't I just give you the medication? Because they are trained to do so in any case. We also want you to understand that please ask questions with regards to your medication at the pharmacy. And this is a huge tip that most people don't know, that you can ask your pharmacist for generic medication. You don't always have to go for the branded trademarked item because the ingredients are the same. Everything else is the same.
It's just expensive. It's more expensive.
It's because the first person who made it had to invest in scientists, had to invest in marketing. That's why they are so expensive. But whoever came and bought the trademark from them to be able to make that medication does not have to incur all those costs.
I see you.
Hence the reason why you can always ask for a generic option. And we at NHP understand that the generic option may not always be available. And in that case, which is very minimal, go ahead, get the branded item, but at least you've tried, you've asked, you've done your due diligence, and you've asked, do you have a generic option for this? And Bob's your uncle, you get to save about 80%.
That's right,
So imagine that. That's one of those items that are really, really, really important. And we aim with this campaign to just make sure that our members are educated, and anybody who potentially wants to become a member of NHP understands that we care about you and we're about you.
That's right. Anna, is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
If anything, I would urge all our listeners to just go onto the NHP website, www.nhp.com.na, to find out more information with regards to the Be Smart and Stretch Your Benefits campaign. And invite potential members out there, listeners that are wondering, oh my, what is NHP about? What else can they offer?
The ones who are wondering, why don't I have medical aid?
And the ones that are wondering, why don't I have medical aid? I mean, if you're thinking about it, it's probably something you need to pay attention to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this time this afternoon and for sharing this information with our listeners. I'm sure that they'll certainly tune in and there'll be new members coming your way shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. That's the voice of the acting retention team leader at NHP, Anna Ndemugwedha, telling us a bit more about the Be Smart Stretch Your Benefits campaign. She had me thinking about my life. I have to give NHP a call quick fast. But there you have it for your MYD Heart on 99.
That was MYD Heart.
Brought to you by NHP.
NHP, we're about you.